Yo, yo, yo. I got back right in time. Yes, YouTube. It's like, yo, your bit rates, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, my audio wasn't on. We're back. Good morning, Jennifer. Good morning, Doohay. Good morning, Carnage. Did it change y'all's names in the YouTube chat again? Y'all's names are right, but like, why are there at symbols everywhere? Good yo morning, yo yo yo. Good morning, gang. What's up, guys? Good morning. So big game plan this morning, guys. Your main focus to the downside is going to be this level. For SPY, your main level to the downside for triple Q is going to be this level. We're opening under it on triple Q. We're opening just above it, breaking it now on SPY. So these would be your... Do I have to be clicking on the chart for Control Z to work? Yep. So that's what we're looking at right now. Right now, I wouldn't be surprised if we see these kind of break and retake a couple times. Very similar to how yesterday's level worked at the current day open. Seeing just, good price action around it and then seeing something from that. Not really seeing it instantly out the gate. But who knows? Maybe we just see a huge dump or a huge pump at the open. Who really knows? But that is most likely what we should get. Pretty wild past couple days, though, with all the Trump news, the China news. And it's funny because the trade war never ended. It's funny how all that other stuff kept us so, hidden from the trade war. And it's even funnier because SPY really is... most of the market is still near their all-time highs or very close to them. So who knows what's really going to happen. With these gaps, you really don't know. You can't sit here and say, "Oh, it's for sure going to pump back up," or "It'll need time," or "Oh, we're going to definitely pull back more because this is retail." Like really can't tell yourselves those things. Like, yes, this will eventually bounce back up over time. That is a fact. Two, even if it does pull back, awesome. It's not like that's the end of all worlds. I don't really get that. So definitely don't allow the fear that's roaming around online or around the markets get into you or get into how you like to trade, because that again will just make things a lot worse and you'll hate yourself for it. And that's just annoying. Who wants to be fearful and everything because of a bunch of red candles, right? Yes, pullbacks can happen, but we don't need to allow fear to drive our trading decisions, which in these kinds of markets, that's what happens for a lot of people. Good morning, Daydream Johnny. I don't like this YouTube update. I don't like that y'all's names are like really long now, have numbers and ats and symbols and like all kinds of shit now. I don't understand where that's coming from or why YouTube thought that was okay. Again, guys, we're looking for continuation under this level or under this level. Excuse me. If I had to say, like, what level we have to focus on to the upside, and I talked about this in the post this morning in the Discord, you're definitely needing to see, one, a hold of these two levels here, the ones that we're talking about from the open, basically. But not just that. We need to see something pair alongside with that. And I was going to say your previous day open or your gap down 50%, but those are really far. Those are going to be really far away. So... I mean, you're kind of just watching for just good price action to pop up after some basing. So as a buyer, you're really just kind of sitting on your hands waiting for any kind of good short-term signals to appear. As a seller, you're just in full throttle waiting to see, okay, what other targets can hit from this. We know we're bearish, right? We know we're bearish. We got a little bit of that tone from the day before. Yesterday was just off of some good short-term news, but... now we're seeing another continuation of more short-term. It's like, we're like a Chinese chart right now. And that's what we get for dealing with the Chinese drama. We get Chinese gaps. You know what I mean? If you've ever looked at a JD or a BABA chart, any Chinese charts, PDD, those are always fun to look at. But yeah, continuation down, very high probability. Talked about that pretty much as soon as I got back with you guys. But again, kind of focusing on those key levels though. 650, 691 on SPY, definitely the most key level right here, right now. Triple Q, 595.68, which again, us opening under that is not a great sign for buyers at all. For sellers, great sign. Sellers, great sign on SPY as well. Opening just above that level. Just now breaking it. So, really just looking for more downside here this morning. Not really changing that until we see some sort of basing or retake of those levels that we're so bearish under. And just for curiosity's sake, where are these 50% gaps? Again, we're just going from the previous day close to today's open because we just, oh my God, that is crazy how that lines up. That is not why we have that level there. Oh, I forgot. You have to actually like click everything again. And then on Triple Q, it's not as bad. I was gonna say it better be around the meat of this previous day low. It's pretty close. Actually, if you look, it's actually the top of the supply, with how we draw our demand. Sorry, I can't speak English today. If you go from the low to the high of the last red candle, and that's funny because that's pretty much where that level is. But yeah, so short-term upside, you'd be looking above this level to this level, above this level to this level. But today, since we've opened under the level that we're supposed to be bearish under, that's even more momentum for sellers. And having that gap fib marked, you can see we actually are very close to a target, 591.90s. I didn't bother drawing this on SPY, but I guess let's go ahead and see. And yeah, so we'll just kind of use those two then for our targets. We don't need to cluster that chart. Does everything make sense, though, guys, in the chat? Let me know. Thumbs up. Give me some sort of message. If you guys are looking at any kind of different charts, let me know what tickers you're looking at. I'm specifically focused on SPY and Triple Q, as you've seen. I've been posting SPX, Apple, AMD as well inside the chat very heavily. So feel free to watch the updates or hear the updates, however you need to see them. And yeah, good morning for anybody who's tuning in here. Good morning. I need to take a screenshot and send this to the Discord because we've already hit essentially what our first real target should be. Very cool, though, how the gap fib for the gap down is lining up with about every single level I had marked. Whether it was the level above or a couple levels down. And same for Triple Q. Almost every single level lines up with something. It's very cool too because we got to see an actual reaction of that. I feel like it's the first time I've seen wicking up today. Very cool to see it around levels we have marked. Seeing some sort of reaction, even if it falters and it ends up dumping and closing a whole red candle anyway and then dumping even more. It doesn't matter. It's cool that we're at least seeing some sort of short-term reaction to a couple levels we have, right? We're bearish under this level. We're bearish under this level for the day. First target's here, second target here, first target here. Maybe we can get down to that other low right here, around here, if this level breaks as well. But nice to at least see some sort of reaction from the very first level. Again, we've already gapped on a pretty nice amount. We just snapped the very first level we had marked. This one didn't even break that level. It just opened entirely under it. And make sure you guys are looking at the levels and swings channels for any kind of previous context. I do post this stuff before the open. I actually posted it, and then I went and played with my puppy. Then I came back. And the market was open. Wow, did I just see a green candle for a split second there on SPY? Trying to make this chart not as annoyingly hard to watch because it is like, it's a little hard to zoom in on it. All these gaps, and then yesterday's not crazy range, but like crazy gap kind of messes some of that up with the zooming. Trying to make it somewhat decent to look at. Just to remind you how far down we are. The most important level here on SPY. I think I have it marked like this. The most important level on SPY is this one right here, and we're way under it. All we did yesterday, by the way, I know I didn't stream yesterday, but all we did yesterday was just reject it. And by the way, and that's another thing I wanted to go over. We'll go over the important thing a little bit later in the stream that I wanted to cover that I kind of alluded to yesterday in the trade floor. But if you were expecting anything more or less than an inside bar yesterday, and I'm so serious about this. Like, if you were sitting there yesterday and for any amount of time you were like, wow, I'm going to try to catch a nice big move today, or I'm going to try to catch a great trade today, you genuinely need to step back and stop yourself. I'm serious, man. It is crazy how many people I thought I saw trying to trade yesterday. Insane, man. That is crazy. I talked about if you're trading some like non-market related plays, like that's a completely different topic. But I'm talking about SPX, SPY, Triple Q, IWM. Like, why were we all trying to look at that yesterday, guys? And then I kind of talked about it a little bit more, but you're very young in the market. if you were in that seat yesterday, I'm stuttering like crazy. If you were in that seat yesterday, sitting there going, I'm gonna definitely catch a trade today. Yeah, I'm gonna try to catch a really big move today. Like, bro, it was a Monday on a holiday as well, so some part of the market, the bond market, wasn't even open. Crazy to me. And now those same people that fucked up yesterday and didn't have the patience don't have the capital to trade today. Today might be 10 times easier than yesterday. Because we have the information in the context of, we rejected the level that we were trying to be bullish over. But, yeah, we're even more bearish now. So, kind of nice to zoom out and just look at some of the recent context. You can see I'm still on the 5-minute. I didn't have to go out to the daily to see that information. Big drop. We rejected the big drops 50%. We're almost to the big drops low again. This is the definition of what, chat? Anybody in stream know what this is called? When you have a rejection at this specific level of a specific drop, what is this called? And it's even crazier because it happened over the course of 1, 2, 3 days. But what could this be seen as? Wild to see it in 3 days again. Very wild to see it in 3. Asa, what's up, Carter? What's up, Maddie? What's up, Doctor? Good morning, guys. But what is this called, guys? God, my throat is so fucked. A Lee test. Yes, I was looking for that, man. Lower high retest, or a Lee test as some of us like to call it. Kind of mixing Leland's name into it. The Lee test. Yes, you're correct. That was kind of a trick question, too, because that's a really hard one to see. I know it's like, it's so easy because you know the definition, but unless you know the definition, you're going to be like, well, I don't know what the fuck that is. So, very good, very good. I would have accepted a lower high retest or Lee test. Lee test, it gives you bonus points, though. Good job. So that was entirely what I used to come up with my game plan this morning of like, if we're under this level, and I'm only saying this stuff to not be like, yo guys, look how correct I am. No, I'm telling you this because I want you to also be able to take the context from any time frame over the course of the last couple days and use it moving forward, right? Because if you're going to be just like any of these other assholes who get greedy or even fearful in these kinds of markets, you're going to miss out on a lot. You're going to miss out on some really easy, just basic cues. Oh, we had a very historically large day Friday. Okay, I think I'll chill on Monday considering it's Columbus Day. You know? Then we'll see what context I can gather after that large ass session happened. All you got to do is skip one day. And it's funny because I say skip the day. Like, you could still watch it if you want. Do whatever you want. But don't sit there and try to have, like, some composure and be like, yeah, I'm going to definitely try to trade this. I would have rather if you traded puts from open today than traded at all yesterday. That's how basic that was. That wasn't, like, some scientific, you know, study to come up with that. You know, it's very basic thinking, actually. But yeah, very, very cool to see the move already kind of pan out. Have new lows been made yet? No. So nothing new has really happened. We've already dumped this low, right? So us selling from here to here after getting another seller kind of signal, is that crazy to us? No, not really. Excuse me. So there's still a lot that can be done from here. Don't be one of those people that are sitting here going, oh my God, I missed out on the big move. I missed out on a move. Yeah, you did. Is that game over? Do we just end our lives right there? No. There's plenty of opportunity left because of that historical session. You should be foaming at the mouth, ready to go. Very good job, though, Carter. I'm glad somebody at least answered that. Because that's a very, very important topic, and it's one of the easiest signals in the market. In my opinion. And it's got to be one of the most powerful. And there's no, like, deeper thinking behind it. It really is just, like, cut, plain and dry. There's no tricks. There's no shadows. There's no nothing. It's just plain and simple. It is what it is. I would like to point out we did push under the first target for any seller pullbacks this morning under the 658.50 on SPY. But we are not under the low of that bigger dip. So you're kind of watching for this area here on SPY for more sellers. But you're not going to be surprised if we start to see some consolidation from here. Why is that? Because we have a low here. It's not like we're just bouncing randomly here. And same goes for Triple Q. We're around the low. So if we're going to see some basing, it needs to be kind of between this area. I would love to see that. If not, then that's going to become more liquidity for more downside if we do see the break of that new low. So honestly, in either case right now, for both buyer and seller, you almost want to just see some ranging here. And I'm not saying that to be bullish or bearish. That's like both sides genuinely need it. The move down has already happened. For more move down, you need liquidity. They got to build some here, right? So sellers need ranging here. Buyers, they need literally anything to grab onto. They'll take some ranging. They'll take a freaking lifeline. So right now, I would definitely assume highest probability scenarios that we range between, on SPY, between this area here, maybe even a short-term bounce up to today's open. I wouldn't highly count on it, but between this area here, around the low, basically. And then same for Triple Q. If you go back 2 days, that low, that's I think it's about like right here. We'll probably be bouncing between there and there. So watch for some ranging. Like I said, this is to build consolidation for liquidity for either side, really. More of a lifeline for buyers. Definitely need to pick up more fuel for the sellers if that's what it's going to be. Feel free to share anything you guys are also looking at. I also have been looking at SPX and Apple, which I just like looking at Apple. I was also surprised this day didn't move as much. I was really expecting more from this, but it did pretty much what the market did, except it didn't look as good. So that was definitely the thing. And then it pulled back from its level very easily as well, from the open basically. So nothing super crazy today on that drop on Apple, but every chart's kind of doing the same thing from what I've checked this morning. Well, the market-related charts, like I said in the chat yesterday, high beta-related stocks. Their relation, their pull to the SPY or to Triple Q needs to be very high for that to make sense. if I'm sitting here and I'm going over SPY and triple Q, and I'm saying everything's going to do this, I'm meaning everything in that market. Of course, GameStop's not going to give a shit what these guys are doing. So. Let me zoom in again. I kind of like having this low in the picture. I like having this whole rejection of the 50% up here just to kind of remind ourselves what tone we're under. We're definitely a lot more bearish than bullish, but right now we're in an area where we could build some consolidation. But by the way, guys, if you do see any fresh lows under this, they probably will push down a little bit more. But honestly, at this point in the seller move, unless you see ranging first and then more sellers, it's really hard to jump in on this without saying just the most basic shit, you know. It probably is going to break previous day low. If you see a break of that, you have 651.98. If you see a break of that, you got 650 down there, you know. Like, that stuff's all really basic. At this point, I'm going over the different routes this can possibly take. So we're not so blindsided if those scenarios happen. Let me fix the triple Q chart so we can actually see that final target if it does in fact keep going, because it actually can go to the second target and third target here. But we'll have to see if ranging is going to happen here first, like we talked about just now. And yeah, good morning, everybody. Be sure to drop a like on the stream. I'm honestly still trying to get used to this YouTube update on my end. It's so weird to read y'all's names. You all have like ats and numbers and like symbols and shit now. IWM is over yesterday's open. Okay, well, I need to look at IWM then because I don't know my context on that one as well. Okay, there we go. So you said they're above previous day. You are correct. That is not fake news. I'm not going to lie. I have some very good levels in this chart too, Nick. I've been not like staring at it as much as my SPY or triple Q chart. I'll be honest about that. But I did work really hard on these levels. The only thing you could maybe add here, I mean, you could unedit that, make that not say that, but is the gap down. I'd say if you go from that previous day close to your today's open, where is that 50%? Excuse me. It's right above the head of 242. So I'd honestly watch. I know I have this highlighted, but I would honestly watch this and then see does it get above it or not. But a lot of the time, and this is one of the big strats in my chat, and maybe some of you guys haven't heard it this way, so I'll just go over it again. But anytime there's a gap down or a gap up, I'm going to go over a gap down because that's what happened today. We can go over a gap up as well. But a lot of the times, let's say we gap down to like fucking way down here, right? Let's say we have the largest gap down in history. You know, kind of like the one that happened the other day. So we'll go to like there, right? Actually, I should just go to a clean chart. Hold up. So anytime you have a gap down, and this happens on gap ups as well. We'll go over the same exact thing over on the left. By the way, we are still seeing buyers on pretty much all three of these charts. Small caps definitely look the sexiest, though, as they're already hitting their gap down 50%, which we're about to go over this. So the gap down, you go from your previous day close to your today's open. That's what the gap is. Don't let anybody tell you any different. That is the gap. That is the gap. I don't give a fuck what happens in extended hours. I don't care what happens. I don't care how it got there. I don't care about the price action that it did in pre-market to do this, okay? None of that matters, to be honest with you. The big thing that matters is, well, the barrier levels, I guess you could say. You got, like, these levels here. I would say these are, like, your barrier levels because that's, like, kind of what created the rest of this info to appear. And it's very important that you understand that. The 50%, I would say, is definitely the most important level that you see plotted here from just that gap down, right? If we're just talking about the gap down levels that are thrown on the screen, this one right here is your most important by a mile. By a mile, right? And so what's cool about this, too, is it doesn't just show you for something that, oh, well, if it gaps down to here and it goes back up, this is where it's going to gravitate towards. That's kind of what we're looking at here. It's going to gravitate towards this level. Now, whether that takes time and it's really ugly and not really feasible tradable price action, doesn't matter. That's what it's going to gravitate towards most of the time, right? Now, the other instance, and this is why I'm talking about this, that I like about these, is it also plots more things to the downside. Why is that? Where the hell are these coming from? So I really like that too, because it also shows what can happen if the momentum to the downside, whether it just dumps under the open or goes back up, rejects this, and then dumps, it doesn't matter. There are two instances, after the rejection of that, of course, where this has a really high probability chance of hitting that first target. You actually saw it today on Triple Q. I'll pull that Triple Q chart back up. SPY did it as well. But they actually both did go down with that momentum because it was such a large gap down. It was like, well, fuck, they might have more sellers. There's more people that got to cut at the open. So they ended up doing that. They actually did go through, if I can draw it correctly, Jesus. They did go through the first gap down target, right? So if they were to provide liquidity and go back up, what are they going to gravitate towards? 660.12. Same thing here on Triple Q, 598.67. A little bit larger, you know, of a gap down, so it's the numbers feel a little bit wider, but it's a little bit different on all three charts actually this morning. But all of them at the same time, though, have that exact same template. So anytime you have a gap down or a gap up, like in this chart here, we can go over that over here. I don't want to just talk about one direction, so it feels like we're, you know, just being biased. Like, I don't want to just go over bearish things. I don't want to just go over bullish things. All right, so here in this gap up here, right? What are a couple triggers that we can see from this, right? And regardless of the price action already happening or not, blah, 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 doesn't matter. We're not here to talk about that. But from this template, though, right, this would be like our barrier level. This would be like our other barrier. And then here's our most important level, right? Since this gapped up, of course it has upside targets. And this is another reason I like to see that too, because like I said earlier, sometimes it does just shoot up into that first one. Sometimes it takes its sweet ass time to get towards the first one, right? It did that all day. Didn't even get to the second one. Just kind of stuck in between it there on IWM. So looking under this, it should gravitate towards this if this area breaks under the open, right? Now, what do I mean by break? Do I mean like just one simple 1 minute candle? No. If you go to the 1 or the 5 minute, very cool. 3 minute as well, 2 minute, whatever the hell you're on, cool. You need to see a break and a rejection, not just one. If you get just one, then you're not really getting anything helpful there. Then you'll end up like this: break, retake. And it's funny too, because all these candles had wicks. More wicks. Big candle right here. As soon as I were to see this candle, I'd be like, okay, this is probably trying to hold and go up to the 50%, or to the first upside fib extension target. You know, that's the kind of thinking you need to have. Oh, if this breaks and rejects, this could actually be good liquidity for the move down to the 50% of the gap up, you know? So, very basic. Let's go back to the chart, though, because things are moving still. But I wanted to go over that because the gap up or gap down fib that you can draw for either charts, really, is very, very easy, in my opinion. I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to understand that one. But I also find it to be one of the most powerful pieces of information, and it'll start to show you like lower high retests or even higher low holds. You'll start to get better at finding trend short term for quick scalp trades. But you see it here on the larger macro side of things. We talked about it from the daily, from the big drop to the big rejection, but all the way down to here on the 5 minute. So it doesn't really matter what time frame either. That was a lot of talking, but that was a very important topic. People need to understand that, because if we get a big gap down like this and we kind of already made a move, what should we gravitate towards? Me personally, I'm kind of looking to see today if we get another rejection. Because think about it. This right here is a lower high rejection on the bigger time frames, or on every time frame really, but on the bigger time frames. So if this were to go reject the 50% of this, what would that be? That'd be like the lower high of a lower high. That'd be another seller signal. So we're kind of looking today to see, can we get over these levels or not? You can see Triple Q's is way the F up here. I think Spies is this one, right? Whoops. I think Spy is that one, right? Oh, no, I was off. It's like 660. Okay. Just passing by, liking the stream, and getting some chat XP. Buying the dip regardless, averaging in day. On what? Yes. That's exactly how I took it as well. That's got to be the best response ever. Ask somebody like a two-sided question, yes or no question. Yes. Your VIX call got clapped? How is that possible? Oh, maybe from the other day. It's funny because in my chat we were like, yeah, VIX is warming up, but I don't think any of us were going to ever be like, yeah, bro, this is going to go at 23 pretty quickly. Oh, it's your first time trading, you don't know what you're doing. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think I've ever traded VIX before. If I have, it was like 1 or 2 times maybe. But I don't think I've ever done anything serious on it. If anything, I just like to check on it. Like going to your bigger time frames, like your weekly or monthly, is it around the lows or is it kind of more in the median? You know, and the more near the lows it is, the more it kind of tells me, okay, I need to be watching out for some news event to come out. But that's about it. You know, but beyond that, you really don't have much control. Also, did y'all see that crypto shit? That is 100% going to get investigated into. The guy who put in a trade right before all the tweets that came out, and it wasn't a small trade. That shit was crazy. I had to like watch a breakdown on it because I didn't understand everything. I was like, what the hell is this? But yeah, that was very interesting. It's an you think it's an intelligence service? Yeah, I don't know what it is, but that was pretty crazy. I think even CoffeeZilla is going to do a video on it or something. That's what this one video is saying. That's pretty crazy, though. Well, the thing was, it wasn't because of the timing of, like, oh, they entered right before. They kept entering more after the tweets. Any sane person would have been like, oh, shit, he's tweeting. Let me just get my profits here. That was weird, though. I think I was just impressed by the size of the money, though. That was it was like over triple-digit millions. I think the initial bet. They hit their first target and bounce. That's pretty much what our information is. A lot of these things are going to start going towards their today's open. We're talking about gravitating towards the gap down 50%. This one's around 660. This one's right here. But this one still has its open to kind of give us some context from. So right now that's doing good getting over it. This one's still working towards it. The tech chart, the S&P chart. I was watching the SPY chain too. Some of this stuff is moving like crazy. Is anybody in here doing anything? Are you guys looking at anything specifically? Are you guys charting anything? Are you guys just chilling, just kind of watching? Are you literally just in the stream, so this is the only way you see this? Let me know what you guys are up to. I guess we can leave the XL sectors open too. See what's green, what's not green. As you can see, staples and banks are the only thing green, and they're not by a lot. Discretionary and tech down the most, of course. Bet. No need to reply, guys. You guys are good. We're all good. I actually do need to go update this. Damn, we have over 30 people in here. What's going on, guys? Good morning. How did you get trapped into this stream of streams? If you hear me smacking my keyboard, that's me typing. Trying to update Spire Triple Q. I need to go look at Apple for a second and SPX for a second. Okay, not much to look at on Apple, actually. SPX, though. I don't even need... I don't know why I keep trying to draw that. I don't need to. I already have it right here. I fucking keybinded my J to something, so when I do it on my keyboard now, I can't type the letter J unless I capitalize it. Very weird. NVIDIA, you never fail to amaze me. Alright, so here on the SPY chart, you have kind of previous day low, previous day open, gap down 50%. So there's honestly like a lot of levels between like right here and right here. And then on, whoops, that's not Triple Q. And then on Triple Q, it's kind of between like, where's that low? It's like right here. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. From here to here. So we'll have to see if either of those areas get hit. This is where buyers should gravitate towards if they see basing, and then by lunchtime or end of day they see a move up, or maybe even now they continue to spike up. I don't know. I'm not trying to tell you for sure. I'm just saying this is where they'll go if they get above this area or above this area, continuing on this momentum above their CDOs. This one is still under their CDO, so they still got a little room to work with. But that's an area you could look towards. Also, another area where you should kind of be looking, if you're using the momentum of the market, where you should be looking for shorts. You should be looking for shorts to reject this or reject that, reject this or reject that, until you see something else. That should be your mindset, not, oh, this is where they're definitely going to go hit today. No, they might not see that area. They might reject right here. So personally, I would be looking for seller signals here or here for rejections until proven otherwise. And this is for short-term scalp trades, guys. I'm not sitting here saying, oh my God, these charts are never going to go up again. No. If you really want to be real, and this is what I'll go over in a little bit, we're going to go over the macros of SPY, because it kind of ties in with everything we covered a few weeks ago. If you guys remembered when the market took a big gap down and then there were a couple red days in a row, everybody was like, oh my God, it's going to pull back. Oh my God. And then we sat there strong and said, no, it's going to get bought back. And then literally we called the low. It actually went to the exact same signal as that. So we'll go over that in a little bit, but I would love to go over that again. It also kind of ties in with some of the bigger time frame stuff too, to kind of help you guys out with really just positioning. Yo, what's up, Alst? How's it going, bro? or Hericium Arenaceus. I can't say that. I can't say the whole thing. Oh yeah, be sure to leave a like. I forgot to sell my soul. Be sure to leave a like on the stream, guys. Yada 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 helps the stream. Yada 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 helps the channel. You know the saying. All that jazz. Currently, we're looking for more stellar signals. I'm looking to see if it rejects around this area, to be honest with you. If it does pop above those areas I talked about, 650, 850 on SPY, or the 595 70s on Triple Q, then we could look for a better area for lower highs. I don't know, dude. I'll be honest with you. I am having a hard time reading my own freaking live stream chat because y'all's names are so hard to read, and it's not y'all's fault. This is literally a YouTube update. I don't know why y'all's names have ats. I don't know why we got all this other stuff around it. I've never even seen y'all's names like this. I'm still trying to figure out who the fuck Mr. KD is, but I'm pretty sure it's Dr. No, it's D. It's Matt. See, I don't even know. No, that's Matty Ice. That's Dr. J. I knew you were Alice because we were doing all those jokes last week, but it is weird how it's showing that. Yeah, like, I genuinely have no clue who half of you are now. Yeah, I figured, I was like, this has to be D-Touch, because, like, who on God's earth would have a D in their name and be a mod in my YouTube channel? Like, there's no way. No, it's not your name. It's. I mean, it is your name, but it's YouTube. It's not y'all. Y'all didn't do anything for it to do that. And I think that's just on my side. On y'all's side, does it look like that? You're getting doxxed? Yeah, you're all fucked. See, joke's on you. I've already sold your information months ago. Oh, it looks like that on your side too? Okay, yeah, YouTube just sucks then. It was funny because I went to go click on Twitch the other day because I was like, man, let me just see the difference again. And I went on to some random chat and I saw it and it was playing and I was like, wow, this is cool. It kind of just shows everyone's username and whatever. And I went to watch this video and they were talking about the differences between Twitch and YouTube and they made a really funny joke and it got me dying. But they were like, yeah, on Twitch you just have whatever stupid fucking name you want. You go to YouTube and you got your fucking social security number as your profile or your username or whatever. You know, it's like, damn, that is so right. Yo, Rambo lives. Rambo always lives on, bro. What is up, Rambo? How you doing, bro? Good man, just holding through this correction and managing the long-term positions. Nice. I'm going to go over the macros for SPY here in a second. The main breakdown of it, just to kind of tie in with what I was talking about earlier. But I want to watch SPY and Triple Q for a little bit just because could be some good rejections coming up here soon. Same on my side. It's displaying my YouTube name for some reason. No biggie. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. It's weird, too, because, like, I swear I've seen y'all's names in, like, 3 different ways, but I swear I don't know how that's possible. Like, you got your, like, screen name, which is the one we all set. Then you got, like, your actual username. And then there's, like, a Google username or something. Like, well, how is there 3 names? Chilling on the stream, dude. I'm happy to have you here, man. How have you been, Rambo? What you been up to and how you been, dog? How's life, man? There's Robert Taylor. See, Robert Taylor already doxed himself by just having his name. So when this YouTube thing happened, he's not really screwed. You guys see this? He's winning. Take notes. If you expose yourself, how can you be exposed? The low of days, the same as Friday's sell-off. Would be nice to see the bulls hold it moving forward the coming days/weeks. Very possible, Robert. Very possible. I talked about that too. That's why I kind of zoomed out my left side chart here a little bit. We talked about it for a little while, actually, because I don't know how to shut up. But, yeah, no, that's a good point. I went over that just because for that exact same reason, because I think it's very easy to just turn into the biggest bear after days like this, and then maybe forgetting about, how life works the next day because of this. Completely understand. But thank you for pointing that out again. I think that's a very, very big thing to think about. And also if it breaks, not just if it holds, but if it breaks. I think it's just good to know, okay, this is a pretty important area. They sold to this when we had our gap up, reset, gap down. This is where they went again. It's pretty much there again. It's a very good point. Soaking up that AI. Good shit. I prefer my Twitch name, Dumpster Baby Hunter. Jesus, you hunt them. Wow. I didn't... Is it like sport, or do you like turn them in for money? It's like a bounty kind of thing. That's a crazy Twitch name. Is that like your name, or is that like don't they give you a default name? There's no way that was the default name. It kind of has that like vanilla Microsoft account name though. It's from a joke I heard. It's pretty good. I think my name is just Bueller on Twitch. I don't think I did anything cool. We are seeing the buyers on SPY maintain over the current day open. They have hit 658.50s. Now the question remains, can they get over this into that highlighted area where we suspect buyers want to gravitate towards? Triple Q still has kind of a distance to go. That one I can't zoom in as much or out as much, or it just really gets hard to look at. But yeah, we're looking to see if we can get towards this. Maybe I should open that up a little bit more. How was everybody on the stream, though? No stream yesterday, but honestly, y'all would have been bored out of your minds if I streamed yesterday. When I saw how Friday worked, I was like, oh my god. And it was Columbus Day yesterday. So part of the market wasn't even open. It was the yields. Damn, even the same day cons are kind of pricey today. Well, not like so pricey you couldn't touch them, but they're definitely up there. I guess that makes sense though. Your IV and your every bit of volatility is just going to be up through the open. Your triple Q is at today's open. Let's see if we get a rejection there or what is about to happen. And if they pop over it, do they make it to that highlighted area? SPY already over there today's open, but at that next level before reaching the highlighted area. So we'll see if rejection comes here on either of these charts or if continuation happens on both. Buyers still have a little bit of room to gravitate towards that highlighted area on both charts, which is just a combination of a shit ton of levels, to be honest with you. The previous day low, the previous day open, the gap down 50%. Highlighting a lot on both charts. It's an area where there's a lot of very big levels. The devil in me keeps looking at shorts on the same day chain. I guess we'll see if that highlight area comes first, then we could look at that. Buyer's still looking pretty good here. It's weird saying that. Inside of two gaps right here. Two gaps from the last two sessions. Weeble is telling y'all that the previous day high is 664.61. Jesus. The actual high is 665.13. At least it's wrong in the right direction. I imagine it said like 670 was the high. I think I'd rather be wrong closer than I would be farther away. And it's not wrong. I think that's just how their quotes work. That's so weird. That will be the thing that forever confuses people. Me included. Oh, they're just different quotes from a different blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but how's that possible? Like, think about it. How is that possible? I see comms are green. I know it's only by literally a cent, but that's something. Healthcare and tech still very red. Ooh, tech just got a big boost on that candle right as I clicked onto it. XLK. Yeah, I mean, some of these charts that were going up look like they're shit now and look like they want to slow down. And then some of the ones that went down very heavily all look like they're trying to base or go back up. So you have like kind of a combining effect happening where multiple things are going up that actually are impactful, which brings larger buyer candles for both of these charts, which is probably why you're seeing that on the triple Q chart right now, because tech is one of those charts with the XLK and XLY stocks in it. Both of those are bouncing both pretty nice right now. Bit of a dip and rip. Without the dip, you would not have the rip because you would not have liquidity. Make sure to drop a like on the stream, guys, if you are somewhat entertained by anything that's being said here today. If you guys have any of your own updates, feel free to share. If you have any other charts you're personally looking at that I'm not looking at, please feel free to throw them up or talk about them or whatever the hell you want. It's free. It's freedom in here. This isn't China. This isn't the UK. Share your opinion. At least that's what I'm told. It's almost been an hour from the opening. I'm not going to lie, it has not felt like it. Probably because of all this movement, us just going down and then going straight back up after hitting literally one target from gapping down. But I am happy to see both the charts doing pretty much the exact same thing in terms of what they're hitting, right? It's not about the candles being the same. It's the template of things, right? When we gap down, they did both kind of hit the exact same target. A little bit of dribble a bit underneath it, and then they pick back above it. Work towards their today's opens, and now they're both gravitating towards the highlighted areas that we've gone over 3 times in the stream now. So we'll see if that continues. But like I said earlier, I would probably be looking for better bearish rejections in this highlighted area until proven otherwise. So you should be looking for bearish trades right here, or around right here, until proven otherwise. Until you see the highlighted area pop back over. That's just what the system's calling for right now, based on the gap down. But we made the highlighted area a little bit bigger just because there are other important areas around here, or levels, I should say. Mostly from your previous day. So we'll see once we get here if we can get some lower highs or some basing into the lunchtime session or not, but not yet. And it's funny because I've been watching this short chain. Anybody who's been trying to short early definitely got fucked. There are so many of these contracts that were nowhere near these prices. I'm seeing some of these contracts down like 100 or more per. Very insane. You just can't let fear lead you. Like, you gotta wait for good positioning to find those plays. That's just, you don't feel bad for those people, but at the same time, you're like, wow, that sucks. I'm not really happy or mad to see this area get hit on SPY and Triple Q. Really, it's just kind of nice to see that there's movement. I think we could have easily had another day like yesterday today, so it's very nice to see that not happening. Though I think all of us would be a bit salty if we just witnessed our low and high of day all within the first hour of the day. That would be truly depressing. Good updates by Letter Buck in the chat too. See a few of you doing that as well, actually. Kevo did a good job. He said, give me PDO. Damn near close already. Very good updates in the trade floor, guys. And welcome everybody in the stream. If you have not already, drop a like on the stream. At any point in the stream, please feel free to share anything you're looking at. Or just share your opinion on whatever. Whether it's the trading deal, whether it's fucking semiconductors and how awesome those charts move. Whether it's SPY or Triple Q, feel free to share. Crypto. Just don't talk about altcoins. That shit's cringe. And the buyers have done a great job gravitating towards this area. We'll see if that continues on or not, but higher probability says this should reject, guys. Whether it's here or up here, it doesn't matter. But in this area here, in this area here, there should be a rejection. If there isn't, that will be a surprise, and you'll probably go up to the next level, that thick level, which is the 50% of that big ass red day we had, is very likely actually. I know that seems crazy to say that we could go from 653 to 663 in one day, but that is actually very likely because of how high a probability it is that this should reject. So if we see any kind of retake over this, and it probably will go up to that. I normally will sit here and be like, oh guys, you probably should mark something in between. Let's not let's not be unrealistic. But that is actually pretty realistic. So, like I said, should be seeing rejections between these areas on both SPY and Triple Q. But of course, time can change those things. Good ranging, good pop back over, could change all that. But we might be towards lunchtime by the time that all occurs. Is anybody in here kind of going along with me with my game plan, or are you guys just kind of chilling, watching along, or what's going on? Who's all interacting and who's just seriously so busy you can't even bother? Let me know. And I guess if you're so busy you can't even bother, you wouldn't even be able to tell me. I just went over it, just looking to see if we can get some rejections here between here and here. We can get some good rejections anywhere around that. Should see another pullback down towards the today's open. If we see any kind of pullback over this, like going back up, probably going to see a very quick, swift move up to these thick manila levels I have on my screen because of the high likability of rejecting this area. There's the previous day lows, the previous day opens, and the gap down 50%, all in these highlighted areas. So it's a very big wall, basically. But if we get over that wall, probably we'll see a quick pop. But I am liking the probability for rejection here. Also, we went up, so I kind of like that there's some liquidity to work with there too. Oh yeah, 100%. Good looks. Watching with you, boss. Waiting for moves after lunch. Yeah, I mean, probably towards lunch or right after lunch. I would like, you know how there's those days where you feel like there was that quick move in the morning, and then not a whole lot happened during lunch, and you got really bored, so you stopped watching. And then like last hour or last 2 hours of the day, there's that big move. This is probably one of those days where you get a good move in the first part of the day, not as much in the second part of the day, and a really good amount in the third part of the day. And that's a really big reason, too, that I really, really love splitting the day up into 3. I think that has personally helped me, but that might just be because I'm special or something. Not in a good way. Let's see, though. Let me pull up that video. Yeah, if you haven't checked out this video, definitely check it out just so you have some sort of idea of what the hell I just said. Because first time hearing that, it's probably like, what the heck? What is he saying? The day is just one day. It's not 3. But check this out. You'll understand some of the thinking behind that. Just chilling first time listening to you. It's cool so far. Welcome then. Welcome. Glad to have you. I'd say your name, but I might dox you because of this YouTube update. So I'm not going to read your whole name out. Do you do this every day or just once in a while? I trade NQ. Not every day, but I do it a lot. I won't lie. And I post just about every single day on my Discord. Well, you know, Monday through Friday. But lately, I haven't really been streaming as much towards the end of the week. Or if there's like a day, too. I do this a lot, but not too much, I guess. If there's ever like a day where I'm like, today's probably not going to do too much. Just based off of what we've seen recently, the recent context. Like yesterday specifically, I'll just skip it because I'm not going to sit here and bore everybody. I know that when I step up here and stream, more people actively trade. So I make the conscious decision sometimes of being like, you know what? I don't need to stream. These guys don't need to trade. We don't need to be here today. So I do sometimes do that, but Yeah. And glad to hear. We actually have a few people that trade futures here and there on their own time. So you're welcome. And it's funny too, because like these levels that we use are you're able to use these systems, this method. You're able to use this across any chart. It doesn't matter what you trade. So anybody is welcome here. I don't care if you trade pairs. I don't care if you trade crypto. I don't care if you trade fucking commodities. If it's a chart, it's a chart. Isn't Pal speaking or has a statement at 12? I can look for you. Let me look. There's a shit ton of earnings today. There's a lot of bank earnings this week. Talked about that in the post the other day. The big thing today is the IMF news. There is a bunch of Fed speakers like Powell, Waller, Collins, but these are not like crazy speaking events. Also, the government is still shut down, so a lot of this stuff isn't even scheduled correctly. But the most important thing that's happening today is going to be the IMF global news. This is that big meeting where all the countries get together and they're like, yo, how's the globe looking? How's the global economy shape looking? So you could see some sparked news from that, especially because of Trump and China doing their deals and stuff right now. The whole Middle East stuff too. So I'm sure there's some potential big news coming from the IMF. That was this morning though. There's a second one already happening right now. There's two IMF things happening right now. And then around 11:20 Central Standard, 12:20 EST, you have Fed Powell. And then all of the other losers that aren't Powell after him. But those are hours later. But I don't think he's going to come out and be like, oh my God, guys, we're cutting it. Like, he's not going to do anything like that. They're going to stick to the script because, one, the government shut down, but two, because there's no need to run away from the script when they already have it set. It's like over 90% chance that the next interest rate cut's 0.25. It's a quarter point. It's just like last meeting, or it's just like the last time. There's no big surprise coming. It's what we all want. It's relief, if anything, but it's not that crazy. So I don't think you'll get anything crazy out of him today. Tomorrow, more earnings, a lot of earnings, a lot more bank earnings. Thursday, I don't know why I'm reading this website when I typed all this out already. Just go to my channel. Yeah, Tuesday we said that bank ERs this week, and then Thursday an hour before open retail sales. So that's like your big news this week. Nice job, guys. This morning, the chat and the trade floor, multiple people. What the hell is this? Oh. I thought that was a spam link. Calling for the previous day open to get hit. You see Kevo posting it here. Give me PDO because he sees we hit a good area where we could bounce from, and we talked about this in the stream as well after hitting a first target to the downside. Getting it back above today's open and working towards the overnight 50%, the previous day open, all those good levels there. You can see, just like on my chart, it is like a whole zone of levels right there. Where's Letter Buck? Give us previous day close. And then all their updates and stuff in between. Y'all can go read that if you want. And then big gains. Let's go Kevo. Let's go Letter Buck. Good shit, guys. I was about to X out of Discord. That was about to be bad. Great job, though, guys. Is the data even correct with the government shutdown? It's definitely not updated from what I've learned. So that's why I said a lot of that stuff that's coming out is not really that impactful. Plus, a lot of the things that were already kind of set in stone is that 0.25 interest rate cut. So that's the only thing that's going to come soon. Damn, Grassfed also already did a good job posting their review. Are you the same guy? Wait, are you the same guy pre-market? I just started in the morning listening to you. Am I the same guy pre-market? What do you mean? Welcome to have you, though. I'm glad to have you. Feel free to say whatever the hell you want. Well, not whatever you want, but I think you got what I meant. Yo, Tampa, you're what is your username normally? I have it on the tip of my tongue, and I only remember it because of your profile pic and the way that you're saying things. Who is Tampa Trader? What is your name usually? And I swear it's on the tip of my tongue. There's a Bueller also? What do you mean there's a Bueller also? What are you trying to say here? There's another Bueller who live streams charts? You are Tampa Trader normally? Okay. Dude, I don't know why, but the way you were typing, it made me think you were, there's a guy in our chat named, like, Day Trader something, or Daydream something. I can't remember the name, like, fully. I just kind of have it, like, in my head, but I can't remember it fully. I could have swore that you were him. But, no, I'm clearly wrong. And then there was another guy, too, that I thought you were. Because I always have a guy who types, like, a pretty good number of times in my chat who just likes vibing. I can't remember that guy's name either. There's too many people to remember. I do remember most of you, though, because there's always, like, these, like, small nitpicky things I remember. I'm like, oh, that's why I remember him. Also happy to see my chat closing out their longs, because this is the area where you should be looking for shorts now. Until we see pops over. So I am happy to see everybody who is bullish kind of getting out at the part of the chart that makes the most sense. A lot can happen from right here. Trade but great. Yeah, I don't know who that is. No, you're all good. You're good. I was about to say, I was like, I don't know if there's another Bueller. And then you kind of confused me when you said the pre-market guy, because that used to be my, like, thing. Like, my channel did blow up because I was the pre-market guy. So that's why when you said that, I was like, what is this guy saying? But no, you're good. I say blew up. My channel did not blow up, but you know what I meant. Hopefully you did. All right, I'm back on the 5 minute. The 1 minute could be a little bit of meh. Plus, the buyers are still not completely spoiled out of this chart yet. They're still here. See, XLP around the same amount. XLC up a little bit more. XLK, honestly, man, I gotta blame some of the. Give credit to XLK and XLY. Those are definitely the reason we saw that sharp bounce. Outside of the other sectors bouncing that don't weigh as much, but these two specifically. I mean, you get a bounce like those two at the same time, and that almost makes Triple Q and SPY go up a little bit. And if other charts start joining in on that, then of course you get this kind of look to it. So, very nice to see the sectors working alongside that. Making it make sense. Whew. I really need to slow down in the first hour of my streams more, man. I went back and reviewed some of them, and man, I swear I do just nonstop talk for like 60 minutes straight every stream. I must be the only live streamer losing oxygen while streaming. Like, negative. I'm losing oxygen. Even after resting. And it's kind of cool how the day progresses, too. I really hope some of you learn that way from my post in the chat or in the live stream. But I always like to think about, like, what was the first part of the day, you know? In the first part of the day, we were looking to, reject this level on Spy and go down, right? If we were to retake it, we'd have that chance of going up towards these levels or maybe even this thick Manila level, the 50% of the big red candle. So that was... It's kind of fun to, like, go back and remind yourself, like, where did we start today? Like, yeah, we started here, but what was the game plan? What did our game plan start today? You know, it started from here, kind of talked about how we should go down and get towards around here before seeing any kind of anything, right? And we even sat here and said we should get some ranging here first before a bounce, right? But it is possible that we do just touch it and go, right? And so it's kind of nice to see that happening there. You might see the same thing happen on the other side of things, too. But getting back to what I was talking about, though, it's kind of fun to kind of see where the game plan started. You know, we were talking about being bearish from here, working down to here. Once we got here, we started talking about, all right, well, once we see any kind of hold, or if it continues under, then that tells us, okay, they're not done. But until we break this low, you know, we're still kind of thinking, okay, this is probably really good risk reward for buyers here until we see something else prove that otherwise, right? And now we're kind of in the same seat here again, but opposite. Actually, shorts look really good here short term with the stop loss right here and here. Back to what I was saying, though. And now we're kind of seeing the moves go up, and now we're talking about what's possible around here. Understanding the key levels are kind of like right here and here, really. But understanding all the most important levels are kind of in between this highlighted area on both of these charts. So this is kind of the look for the chart right here. Like, your next bigger move will come from one of these two spots. Will it happen during lunchtime? Will it happen right now, before lunchtime? Will it happen, which, again, you only have about 45 minutes. Will it happen in the last 2 hours of the day? You know, you don't know. And that's why I like breaking the day up into 3 to kind of give yourself those different probabilities. So you're not just sitting here going, oh, this is what I think it'll do, or this is what I think it can't do, or blah, blah, blah. Like, you really need to be sitting here going over what can it do, every little possible scenario, and then kind of weighing them out in front of you and going, okay, well, this has the highest probability because this just happened, and this has the highest probability because this just happened, you know, and breaking that down in front of yourself, and then being able to do all of that in a quicker amount of time so you can process things quicker. But yeah. That is definitely my favorite part of charting. The context and how it adapts and how it constantly changes and how you're constantly having to change and adapt to it, but without really changing the template of how you do things, right? If you constantly change how you do things when we go up or when we go down, it's like kind of defeating the purpose of trying to find consistency. We want to be consistent. Well, our methods need to be consistent, right? If I was to go cut a piece of wood 100 different ways, how do you think I'm going to get that wood, right? I'm going to probably get 100 different looking pieces. When in reality, I need to be going for this kind of piece and cutting at this exact length and this. And like, there's always an exact template to doing things. I think I have COVID-26 or whatever COVID we're on. Ooh, good post by D-Touch. I actually really like that post. Kind of showing what emotions can do to somebody, or what, not really thinking the wrong way, but just kind of like letting it get control of you, you know? Because trust me, I've been wanting to short this the whole time it's been here, but I haven't really seen anything that's like, hey, get in. Like, yeah, it's up here. It's in the spot I want to see, but it's not telling me anything I want to see yet to get me in. Like, I won't lie, this looks pretty good. Triple Q looking a lot better now, but a couple minutes ago, you know, it would have been like kind of guessing. Even like right here, it could be seen as kind of guessing, to be honest with you. I like the risk reward here for sellers now that we're up here, but I definitely didn't like this candle. I haven't liked this. I honestly didn't even really like this yet until we had this candle appear. Now we're seeing some pullback from it, but we haven't really struggled that much up here yet. Getting some wicks on the top a little bit more and more, but it's not like they're increasing that much. But I like that post a lot because that's realistic as fuck. Everybody likes to act like they're so perfect and can never lose and stuff, but that post right there is I like seeing that. Now, I don't like seeing you lose, you know what I mean. I like the teachings behind that post. The realisticness of it, if that's even a word. I just spelled rejects in the craziest way. I should have let it spell that way. REJEXTS. Rejects. I make myself laugh. Somebody's got to. Where are all the class clowns? None of the class clowns are in the stream today. Normally there's like one or two people in here trying to make everybody laugh. Where are those people at today? By the way, who saw DDD recover back to 3? I don't know who all in here is even in that with me long term, but it's back to 3. We're good. Actually, I think it's under 3 again. Lag, I just saw what you sent me. Yeah, I can't read the word electric the same anymore. Still looking to see if we do see that pullback from here. It might not be a swift one. We might just see a move into those first set of levels we have for both of these charts, and then some consolidation, and then we see some more movement. If we don't just, of course, see that straight up pullback right then and there. But I'm liking the probabilities here still. I think I'm gonna get into the 658s. Welcome to the stream, by the way, guys. If you're just now getting in here, good morning. Please feel free to share anything you're looking at. Let me know how your night was. Did you get some good sleep? Did you get the crusties out of your eyes? Nice reaction. I just like how the levels look right now, man. It's just so clean. Even though it's a chaotic market, the levels don't have to be chaotic. That is not what I wanted. That is what I wanted. Once you get into the 658, are you going to use a stop loss? Yeah, of course. Why would I not? Why would you get into a trade and not have a stop loss? If that's something you're used to hearing, stay away from those people. You should always have a stop loss at least in mind if you're going to enter something. Before you enter a trade, you need to have all of that thought of, prepared, everything kind of in your head already before you're doing that. If you don't have it like a manual set. Like, I'm just chilling right now, but yeah, you would definitely have that set. You wouldn't be like, I'm getting in and this is definitely going to drop. And then just, you know, with no realistic understanding that you could be wrong. Like, you need to understand you could be wrong in every trade you touch. But you need to go off of the context on your screen. Like, for instance, no entry yet, because we don't really have any good candle closes down yet. But let's say these weren't all wick ups, right? Just so it doesn't look as visually, you know. And you were entering here. Like, would I have my stop loss at 660.87 because that's the top of my range? No, that's too fucking far. I'd probably have it like the meat of the high, just to kind of keep myself from missing that before it goes to the area that I think, if broken, it can launch more, right? Or better yet, having a better trigger. Like, to be honest with you, I like these couple candles here for bears, right here. I'm trying to mark them correctly. These two not looking so good, and honestly, not in the best part either. It should be up here, and we get a better rejection. Because right now, this is telling me it wants to go up a little bit more. So that's why I didn't touch it yet. But in that instance, let's say it did keep looking like shit, and it did want to pull back. What is our stop loss? That is what I would have done. But I'm honestly waiting to see if we get better positioning first. And it's not like it's the end of the world yet. We haven't fallen out of the floor. If we break this, we probably are seeing more sellers at that point. Same for this area here. So it's a good thing they line up today. Let me know if that's helpful, though. But if you're new to hearing that, you definitely need to check out some of our more basic material first so you can kind of catch up to how we look at things here. Because you're probably used to seeing people mark levels and stuff. But I almost promise you're not used to seeing a system behind those levels. There's actually a correct way of thinking when you're looking at these levels. There's a correct order to do things. There's an order to see things. There is an order to things. It's not random. And even if it is random, there is an order to the randomness. So I guess it's not that random. But yeah, if you guys are in here and you're a little bit newer, or you don't understand some of the stuff I'm saying or what I should be expecting, I don't think less of you. I just think you need to check out some stuff first. And then you can join in on some of this stuff. But the one that comes to mind is the most recent one I made, Welcome to BB. And it's just a bunch of videos that kind of go over that kind of stuff. But yeah, definitely check that out if you haven't. And also, I always tell people to join the Discord, but to not sign up instantly. Because, that's just weird. You shouldn't join and pay to sign up and chat instantly. You should join chat, check out everything everyone's saying, going over some of the stuff with different people in here. And if that's something you want to do to support the group, you can, but you don't need to. But I do appreciate when I see people working together in the chat. The teamwork. And we don't raise traders in here. That's a really big difference between my group as well. It's not just how we look at levels and how we look at things, and that we have a system to things behind every little thing we do, or there's theoretical to everything we do, or look at the context that we take advantage of. But it's also the leadership aspect. Like, not everyone in here is just a member or a trader. Like, no one calls each other's that. Like, everybody in here is a leader. It's not just Bueller's group, Bueller's trading community. I mean, it is, but it's theirs as well. It's not just for me to talk. Everybody likes to talk and go over their trades, and sometimes they're doing things I'm not. Sometimes I'm doing things they're not. It's everyone's different. Sorry, my throat's fucked today. God, dude, I'm so sorry about that. I'm losing it today. I think I have COVID-30 or something. Running on 4 hours of sleep on a call all night, but chilling with the gang. Got my old... that you did. Coffee al bueno. Damn, bro. 4 hours of sleep after an all-nighter? Or on a call all night? I believe the volume of your mic is too low. Is it just you? No, I mean, 9 times out of the 10, it's normally just you. But I'm going to give you benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to unplug it and replug it back in. It's also killing me today, so sometimes I'm like talking away from the mic because I'm stupid. I don't know. God, thank God we didn't start shorting, right, guys? A little too early still. There were a couple moments where I've liked it, but didn't pull the trigger. Kind of glad we didn't yet. Because there's no deleting of the momentum up yet. Nothing has really deleted this yet. God, my throat is fucked. Oh. Let me know, Kyle, if the volume is better now. Sorry for reading that so late. New here, thanks for answering the questions. No problem. Thank you for asking them. If you didn't ask them, I would just be sitting here talking to myself the entire stream. So thank you. Saving me from the insanity. There's a straitjacket room waiting for me somewhere. Still seeing upside momentum like I just got done explaining. Nothing has really deleted this upside yet. Nothing has really reset the bar. So, no entry yet for shorts. Still looking to see if this is going to be a rejection area. Very high probability that it is for both SPY and Triple Q. But with this upside momentum, one has to assume that if we break it, we can also go straight up to that thick-ass Manila level above us, which is pretty good distance on both charts. A little over $2 on both charts, actually. Maybe I'll turn my mic. How's that? You're good, man. I usually set my volume to 15. I had it set at 25, and I can barely hear you. Now I can't. Oh, okay. Sometimes my mic does this thing where it just, like loses volume, and for some reason over this year at least, every time I've like unplugged it and then I turn the mic off, unplug it, then plug it back in, turn it back on, it like resets it. So I don't know if that helped either or not, but who knows. And then also there's a difference too in volume. I've noticed some of you who are on your iPads or your phones, almost all of you can hear me perfectly. But then there's people on PC who can't hear me as well. But then there's other streams where it's the other way around, where all the PC people can hear me and none of the people on their phones can. So I honestly have no clue if it's me or if it's a mix of me and YouTube. I'm sure I'm partial to blame in either scenario, but it is a little weird. Because I've had people tell me that, and I was like, fuck, I gotta see this. Like, I investigated myself. I looked at my iPad, looked at my phone, looked at my computer, and the volumes are different. And it's very weird. But yeah, I'm sorry about that if I've been hard to hear. If you guys need me to repeat anything, please feel free to just ask. And I promise I won't get mad this time. You're good, man. Oh, I already read that. I'm stupid. Let's blame China for the volume issue. Oh, yeah, wait, you're right. I forgot. We're in Trump's America. We just blame China. Man, I really hope he doesn't tweet anymore. Yeah, if you could repeat the last hour and a half, that'd be chill. Oh, bet. I got you. Actually, if you actually heard me start talking for another 90 minutes straight to cover everything I said, just leave my stream. Call the authorities, something. If I'm able to do that, just call me out. Get me out of here. But yeah, that's probably my fault. I probably just need to have my mic set up right or whatever. I don't know how y'all aren't hearing me sometimes, though, because I'll go back and review it, and it literally shows me talking loud as fuck. But you know what, guys? Let's do something different today. Let's just turn up my volume extremely high. Therefore, you all have to turn me down. I don't know where to find that again. Filters? No. Oh, here it is. Mic, 140%. Yeah, see? I'm not bullshitting, guys. I got this shit up pretty loud. And I have music down so low. I don't have music on today, but... Oh, that'd be funny to ask y'all. I'll be like, yo, y'all hear the music? Alright, so let's try 175. Decibel 4.9. So I have increased it 2 entire decibels, guys. You are lying if you're saying I'm still quiet. Or my OBS is lying to me. Both could be true. You can hear me better now? Alright, should I increase it more? Let's just get this out of the way now. Because we've had this issue for a while now. Let's just do it. Do we need to increase this more? I'm talking clearly now, but let's see. Let's talk to the side a little bit. You're loud in my end, LOL. Yeah, increase it more. We can always lower you. No. Zaya said no in all caps. My van speakers are cooked now. Mic resistance level is 200%. No. Okay. I think we'll sit there. My bad. Who thought 2 decibels were that powerful? Oh my god, Eric. I read that, and at first I was like, wait, is this guy serious? Hey, man, it wouldn't be the first time. I shit you not, man. When I did this playlist, this is the perfect example of this. Now, this isn't a mic issue. This is just me being stupid, but it falls under the same category. When I did the BB Theory playlist, and mind you, this is like 4 to 5 hours of shit, right? I did all of that. Like, had it recorded. I had it, like, titled in my folder for my files to, like, upload in the correct order and have the right names and stuff. I did all that. And then I went back through them after uploading the first one to YouTube. And I was like, why is there no audio? Why can't I hear myself? And I didn't have my mic unmuted. It was either on my mic or it was on OBS, one or the other. Either way, stupid mistake. And I sat there like so sad because I was like, what the fuck? I just talked for like almost 5 hours. And mind you, this is on my Saturday. On my weekend, I was doing that. That sucked. And then I just did it again. I did half of them that night, really late, and then I did the other half that next morning. But man, I have never done anything like that. That was bad. I'm talking like almost 5 hours of me talking into a mic and no one could fucking hear it. But I'll be honest, after I did it the second time, I think the things I was going over were covered a little bit more efficiently. Because the first time I recorded it was a lot longer. So the second time, I either was doing shortcuts or I was just being more efficient with what I was saying. But I still got everything out, but it was just like, holy. That was bad. That was bad. Imagine you're just sitting there talking for 5 hours straight into a mic and nobody ever hears it. Yo, did anybody play BF6? Speaking of lag to death's question, that was a good question. Anybody play some BF6 this last weekend? There's a ping in my chat. Mikey. Let me put an invite to the server because I always forget to do that. I don't share my links anymore. I'll share them in my streams and stuff, but I don't share my links anymore because we've had way too many like spams and bot accounts and like all that bullshit. And it's not like I'm sitting here fucking dying for more people to join. Like, no. I like when we get like 1 or 2 people every couple weeks. Because 9 times out of 10, they end up staying, they do very well, or they find something on their own. It's like, nice. I'd rather build up the community small at a time. It's just a more enjoyable community at that point. I need to fix my spy chart. And the triple Q chart was easy to look at today. I mean, both of them were, but I think I just like that one more because it had all my fibs drawn. Someone named Josh joined the server. We have another Josh. My name is Josh. Dude, I cannot type today. There we go. All hail the gap in previous day fibs. The all hail plankton meme, but insert gap in previous day fibs. SPX 15-minute may be setting up for that pullback. We shall see. Good update, Eric. How are you doing today, Eric? Thanks for pinging me on your trades, by the way. I checked every single one of them out. It does help when you send me that because I'm like, oh, shit. I need to go look at that. But trust me, I look at it at the end of every day. I always go through the results and review channel. Even on days I don't stream, I go back in there and I look. Because I just want to see who traded or what did they do. But good shit, though, dude. I like the rep and the mindset that you had, too, on that last... I think it was the last post. Maybe it was the second to last post. But one of your most recent posts, you had a really good, like, mindset about things. You were like, man, this setup's shit. I'm just going to do a mental rep on it. And treating it like a real trade, I think, is the big thing. Is why I liked it so much. Because I think too many people in chat will... Well, not my chat specifically. I keep saying chat like it's still everybody from back in the day. But like everybody over the course of our chat, I almost promise you, most of them kind of do the opposite. They either trade or they don't trade, right? But in reality, there's a big difference between trading and not trading versus trading and getting reps, right? I think just deciding not to trade, that's a decision, right? But not trading and still getting reps, that's a more mature decision because you're still kind of keeping yourself in the fight. You're still getting you're still getting a lesson for the day, still getting a good rep. And I find it to be super helpful because whenever you take like too long off it, you lose yourself in some of the things you're looking for. Or the things you feel out, you're like, oh, I like this bearish signal. Oh, I like this. I like how that followed up. Oh, I'm gonna get in. You know, you won't think of those things as quickly or at all if you aren't getting those reps in between the days you aren't trading. So I just like that mental. I always tell Linwood that too. I like that whenever most of the time when he's getting his reps too, it's like the same thing. It's like he could have just not traded or not looked at charts all day, but instead he chose to sit there and actually go over some things with himself live in the market instead of wasting the opportunity. It's not the end of the world if he does miss it, but it's nice that he gets the rep. I think that whole mindset is just important. Keeping yourself in the fight kind of thing. Never giving up. And yeah, be sure, guys, I've been yapping a lot. Be sure to drop a like on the stream. It does help out. Or at least that's what I'm told. But yeah, drop a like, all that good stuff. And if you have anything you want to share, please feel free to. It's open forum. Except, please, for the love of God, could we keep the penny stocks out of conversation? Not like I've seen too many, but I saw someone trying to mention one last week, and I just ignored it, and I was like, hopefully they don't mention that again. Who were you talking about? Well, I was talking about Eric, but then I kind of went on to talking about Linwood a little bit. Just because they get good reps, instead of just, I'm going to just not trade today. I'm going to ignore everything. I'm not going to get anything done. And that's fine if someone's taking a break, but I like that Linwood and Eric recently both have done that where they're just getting a good rep. It isn't about getting a live trade all the time. Oh, that's you. Well, fair enough. Yeah, y'all's names are different in the YouTube chat today. Peace in the Middle East and deals with China, and now I can't read my YouTube names. I don't know what happened. I am so glad the peace in the Middle East thing is starting to actually happen. I'm sure a lot of you are the same. I am so tired of hearing about it. Not in terms of like, I'm so tired of hearing about all the depressing shit. It's like, bro, why is no one doing shit? We got all these global superpowers and it's taken this long to do things like that. It's crazy. So more of a fed up with it kind of thing, not really bored of it. You know what I mean? I probably said that the wrong way the first time. Oh, what's up, dude? I was just saying how all the names on YouTube are different. It's throwing me off. Well, it looks like we are going to start ranging into the lunchtime. I was kind of hoping we'd get a better signal before 10:30 came around. 10:30 CST, 11:30 EST. But we are kind of getting into the part of the day where it's about to be lunchtime. So we should get some ranging between 650, 850, and 661-ish on SPY, and on Triple Q 595.50s, or 595.30, sorry, to about 599. Also, I think we can talk about that too, just because we did get a large gap down. We got continuation down after a large gap down, so there's more movement. Dude, this throat thing is killing me. And then we just had a straight move up on both charts. So a lot of movement has been had, is what I'm trying to get at. The fact that we hit the 50% too, I think amazes me the most. On both charts. Almost hit it on Triple Q. I hope that 5-minute hammer drives us back to 650, 850. I'm honestly just happy with how today played out, even though it was a little quick. It bounced between areas that made the most sense. And I'll talk about that here in a second. We're going to go over the macro stuff. Hold up. Let me find my message first. So yesterday in the chat, I went in there just kind of randomly. It was actually after the close, and I posted the daily charts from that bot thing, just kind of showing like, yeah, we're inside bars, because it was after the conversation going over like, if you guys are expecting more, you're on drugs, that kind of thing. I said important topic to cover in tomorrow's stream from the SPY updates. And I can't wait to go over it. We'll go over here in a minute, but it's actually insane how it lines up. But before I go over that, I wanted to go over one more thing. The expectations of today, really. You know, it's crazy how when we gap down, people still just try to buy the dips instantly instead of waiting a little bit after the open. Because if anything, you should be thinking the other way around. You should be going in the direction of your gap, right? We gapped up. You should be looking for upward plays from dips that go down, right? Vice versa. This gap's down, you should be looking for rejections after it moves back up. And that's why we talked about that here, if you see that here, because this is another area that can happen if we reject 661s. We're still holding in this area, so still up for grabs, really. But it's nice to see the value areas getting bought, right? The big day that we fell is right here. Low of day is just above that. Where did we gap down? Or where did we gap down from? Sorry, way up here, right? So kind of mixing in the low of yesterday, the open of yesterday, the gap down 50%. It's a combination of three levels right here. And so it's not surprising that when we do go up from here, that this is where we gravitated towards. We talked about that multiple times in today's stream. But it's just nice to see the reward areas actually moving, right? They came down, they hit an area, they got bought back up. They went back up to here. I mean, nothing has happened yet, but we did already gap down, so. But enough of that. Let's get into the thing I wanted to talk about. What the hell? We'll go to the lag to death chart. Delete everything. So, a couple weeks ago, actually, I guess it's more than a couple now. A couple weeks ago, we talked about how this candle's low, and this candle's 50%, which I guess I could draw it. I haven't really been drawing it in my examples. I've literally just been drawing that one, but let's just throw it up there. So we have an exact area. So this area here is kind of where I've been saying we should be bullish as long as we hold this. And I've been saying this for excuse me, I'm just dying today, dude. I think I actually got sick. I'm trying to have a good mindset about it so it like leaves my system, and it just didn't happen. Because that's totally how sickness works. And if you guys remember, for the longest time we've had this candle highlighted. Actually, I might still have that chart. No, I don't think I do. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I deleted all that. But this is where we said, guys, this is where they're gonna keep fueling the bulls. One second, I'm gonna go find it actually, because I want everybody on the same freaking page. I shouldn't have to go over this as much as I do, but I enjoy it. 1 second. God, my throat is so screwed. Oh my God, why have I been posting so much recently, dude? What is my deal? Here we go. Finally. Okay, you don't need to see everything. Here it is. So, when this candle here appeared, and it was kind of around that hammer, and we just kind of like held, this is where I came into the chat, and I was like, guys, let's just keep focusing on longs. There's really nothing to fear here yet. Just focus on longs. And then I kind of zoomed in to show exactly what my wave of thinking, my brain. You can see how deep the divots are just looking at this chart. Not very. So, we just see a hammer. We see another one appearing. That's literally all we saw. We just saw weak seller days, and then that's what brought the market back up, right? That was this right here. This brought the market back up. I wanted to point this out the other day, but I didn't want to because I wanted to see if we'd settle first. Hold up. Sorry, excuse me. All right, try to get through this without dying. So what I wanted to point out is that where we were super bullish from last time, when this made a dip here, and the entire market was like, oh my God, we're going to keep selling off. This is bears. Trump hates us, blah, blah, blah. All the bullshit people say. We went up and we made new all-time highs over and over and over and over again. And then it took a trading deal to happen, or news about the trading deal to happen, for this to bring us back to square one, right? What took us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 into an 11th session? What took us 10 sessions was deleted by 1. So this is a perfect example of elevator up, and then just jumping off the top of the building once you get up there. And that's just really the pacing of bears and buyers sometimes, right? So you should be expecting slow recovery if buyers are going to take control of this. But I just wanted to point out, we are still holding this this area currently. And before I name it and go over it, would somebody like to point out to me what this is? What is this? What is this? It losing this area, and now we're back above it. What can this mean for the chart moving on from now? What can this context tell us? Can any of our non-newbies explain that in the YouTube stream? Nice channel. Take care. AMA. Watch again. Really cool and relax. Good. Thank you for being here, man. Have a good rest of your day. %90 liftoff. Very possible. That is where I'm going. That is where I'm going. Providing liquidity. Okay, I think I'm actually dying. But yes, providing liquidity. So the fact that we saw a break, higher open, and this day is dropping and holding it, should be screaming to us that there is a lot of liquidity sitting here for upside pressure until we see another break of this at least. And then you can add all your smaller in-between stuff and be like, oh, what about this? But yeah, I wanted to point that out because I think a lot of people are overlooking that. I mean, then again, not everybody looks at levels how you and me do, but it is a little impressive how all that lines up. I don't even need to label that level because I'll know exactly what it is when I see the thick level. I'll be like, oh, that's the 50% of the big ass red day. So this is what most of our most key levels look like, right? I mean, you can add like other levels too, like this low, or you could go back in there and add this 50% of that gap, the all time high. You could go to the daily. You could add this gap. You could add this gap, which is probably sitting around right there somewhere. God, excuse me. I'm like trying to clear my throat, but there's no clearing this. I'm just, yeah. Here, let's just do this chart together. We'll just get it done. Oh my god, I thought I marked it first try. A failed bearish move is a good bullish entry. Yes, sir. Well, not really. I don't like to word it like that. I like to word it in terms of like a good bearish invalidation is a possible bullish validation. Like it might give you that good move. I don't want to sit there and be like it is a good move. No, it might be. I don't want to sit there and say it is 100%. But yes, that is the thinking. I know I'm being technical and tedious on that, but you really kind of have to be. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Is that the other level too? Where did this one go? Oh, that is that level. Okay. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. Well, I guess that's what that would look like. All I did was add a couple 50% of gaps, and then everything else I explained. All right. Yes, I was muted. Sorry. I had to mute. I had to go get more water. My throat's fucking killing me. But I am back. But I did want to go over that though before I left. To do that, just because these are the most important levels in the market right now. And I wanted to go over them one by one, just to kind of make sense of what each one means, what you should be looking for once you see something happen around it. So, like, us going up to here, just so we go over this. So, like, here's, like, day one, big drop, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Bearish. Okay, but from this, what happened? Can anybody explain that to me? Like, what would you call this? Why did we go up to this? And it doesn't matter that we rejected it. We're not talking about that yet. Why did we go up to this? Why does that make sense? Can anybody tell me? Yes, it's the 50% of the previous day, but why did it do that? Don't tell me what it did. Tell me why it did it. And don't tell me, oh, Trump news this, Trump news that. I don't want to fucking read that either. No mini fridge? That's a good-ass question. See, that's the kind of questions we need to be asking in here. No, I don't have a mini fridge. But to be fair, I am like literally maybe 12 feet from the fridge after you exit my door. Maybe less. I can't be that far from it. I'm in spitting distance. To be fair, though, I went to the... I didn't even use the fridge. I used the... we have an Ozarka machine that I pay for. The Ozarka machine hits. I've had it for a very long time. It's not that expensive either, dude. I was actually surprised. You pay a little bit for the machine, and then you pay monthly for the water. The refills, and then you can get, like, other shit. But it's actually not as bad as I thought. And it's Ozarka. I love Ozarka. But does it? Can anybody tell me? Can anybody tell me why we went up to this level? Why does it make sense that after such a large red day, we hit that level of all levels? Why? It's actually funny because the exact same thing happened today, but for a different reason. Gap fill or price usually retraces. It kind of has to do more with what you said on the second one, but I'll go a little bit more into detail. It's not just that it retraces to that. This is the high probability area where price is going to go, even if it's not for future bearish movement, right? The reason you see like big dips and then you see price retrace to the 50% of the dip, the reason why this is the level that it gravitates towards the most is because this is where the most feasible discount is for either side, right? Feasible meaning it allows it to happen. It allows it to potentially happen. We can have another bearish move or we can have another bullish move from this area, right? So it makes sense that when we pull really far away from it, that we gravitate towards it. It's the same thing when you're looking at like EMAs or VWAP or anything like that. Anytime price leaves it or goes away from it too far away, over time it is going to have to come back towards that area. In this instance, it did it all in literally one session to go back to this area. You know, it could have taken 3 days to get back to this. They did it all in one. So, kind of cool. But you see it here again today, right? We gap down from here to here. Here's our 50%. So if we go down, we have something to look forward to. The big low of the big red candle. If it somehow holds here or didn't go down at all and held here and went back up from here, where are we going to gravitate towards in the same sense that we just covered here? The 50% of the overnight, 660.12. So it makes sense that we've been able to do this. We didn't break the low. So today it made sense that if we were going to hold, that we did go back up above CDO to the 50%. Which, in today's breakdowns, we covered more than that. We covered the low to the open and the 50%. Because there's a couple levels sitting here. But if we're going over terms of like the most important ones, that this would be it. We went up because Bueller is just playing Dreaming in the background. We just can't hear. That would actually be funny. Just that's what's constantly playing in the background. And then every time we... What was the downside song? It was that dubstep song. Good morning, friends and Gary. Good morning, Ace. Yes, Ace, good morning to you. Bro didn't play a single game of Battlefield 6 with me all weekend. Truly a hater. Acid Nation, there you go. I don't like that you remembered that. I don't like that you accurately remembered that. Oh, I'm not playing him. You don't got to worry about that, but that is funny you remembered that. Dreaming will forever go down in history. That was a little weird. We took the whole music thing a little too serious. But it did work. Yeah, it was creepy. You'd be like, "Oh my god, he's playing that song. Here come the green candles." Ace, 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 ace. Ace. Just learned more in a few minutes listening to you now. Now I have to go. It was good. Thank you, man. Glad you were here to listen for that. Have a great rest of your day, dude. That was cool. I like when we have people like that. I'm not like here to be like, all right, guys. Hold on, I'm trying to breathe. All right, guys, join the Discord, sign up. All right, guys, go to YouTube, sign up. Like, I just want to vibe. People want to sign up, they can. If people just want to hang out and talk, they can. People just want to hang out and listen, they can. I'm not here to advertise every 5 seconds to people. You're going to hear me say like this stream a lot. But come on, I got to sell my soul a little bit. Just a little bit. Thanks, same. Thank you. I needed that. My throat needed to hear that. Headed to the previous day control point. I didn't mark that. Where's that at today? Just under the just under the 50% of the big ass red candle. Good looks. I'd probably combine those two then. I'd highlight from there to that. I'd use both. Same way we did for here, same thing we did for this. Actually, that's not true. This is a supply. But same thing as this. Sup, dude? What's up, man? I'm fucking losing it on stream right now. Fucking throat is killing me. Bet. Thank you, Gary. Thank you. Thank you. Why are you losing it, bro? I'm not actually losing it. I'm fine. I'm like clearing my throat every 6 seconds. I have a long runner left. Should I hold it for the 20 DMA on Spy? I don't have the DMA on. Or is that too much? Where's it at? Where's the 20 at? I don't even remember what D stands for in DMA anymore. 663? Okay, well, I'll let you know what my guys in chat just above you just said. So they were saying, are we headed to the PDCP, which is the halfway point of the previous day? So my chat just now, we're saying that we're probably going to go somewhere between this level and that thick-ass one. So it's pretty close to where you're looking. So actually, that's not bad at all. That's a feasible target. That's a possible target. That could happen, yes. I don't think you're asking for too much by looking for that. It might be a little too obvious because your average Joe can see that the previous day closes here. So they'll be like, your average jackass is going to be like, gap filled, gap filled, gap filled. So you might want to do a little bit early before that, but it's all up to you. Who knows? By end of day, we could be at 670s. I'm just saying what I'm going over right now, but that's how I see it. So no, that's not crazy. Is the DMA the daily SMA? I have no clue anymore. Gives me smaller targets, the whites of their eyes. Jesus. Thank you. No problem. That was a good question, actually. Daily moving average. Yeah, see, I had no clue. I don't even know what that actually means. Because a simple moving average is just a number divided. An EMA, an exponential moving average, is a number weighted divided. So what the hell is a DMA? It's not an SMA. Or is it an SMA? Are they the same thing? Dude, you're up 60%. Good shit. 2 steps up, 20 steps back. Shake my head. Carter. What happened, man? What happened? Let us know, brother. Let us know. Sorry for all the clearing throats. Yeah, the adaptive EMA. There's a bunch of different moving averages, which again, it's all just math at the end of the day. It's visual math. I didn't even see your message when you said that, Fipo. Damn, sounds like you need to get some Battlefield BF6 rounds in. You are not lying, brother. I'm trying to get to level 49 so I get that mortar. I got to level 40, almost 41 yesterday before I got off. I got off really early last night, though. I was so tired. Just to wake up and have to clear my throat every 6 seconds. How are you liking the game so, though, Fipo? And anybody else who has BF6? I won't lie, I'm pretty addicted to it. You took some Bull 12 calls? You know, I'll be honest with you. I haven't been paying attention to the Bull chart. Besides owning shares, I've just been kind of not paying attention. I had to mute my mic for that one. Bull calls, actually not the worst here. Positioning wise. Gotta make that clear. That could take some time to settle, though, first, Tobias. If you notice, every time it does dip down, it does kind of take its sweet-ass time to go back up. I have the perfect battle station to the game, and now I have 0 time. Aw. Yeah, dude, I'd game with you. Just the same stupid-ass shit I do. Fair enough, then, Carter. Brush it off. Let's move on, then. It's about time to step back. Yeah. I feel you, man. I know for a fact, too, though, that a lot of people in chat definitely are over trading still. I've gone And I'm not even sitting here being like, oh, that's what Carter's doing. I have no idea. It could be the opposite of his problems for all I know. But I know for a fact a lot of people overtrade. And I go over this a lot for that exact reason, because I think it's so easy to overtrade. I think overtrading's got to be the easiest mistake to make because it can cause you to miss other opportunities that you wouldn't otherwise miss if you weren't trading so heavily or all the time or more actively. And again, I'm not saying that about just Carter. I think this is about everybody. I'm not targeting him. It did trigger this to remember that though. But like the three decisions that you can make every day, right? Like I talk about that a lot because for that exact reason, because I don't want people to think like, oh, I can trade 3 times a day. No, like one of your big decisions each day might be like picking up your kids, might be doing something with your family, might be waking up, might be going to bed. Like that might be one of your 3 decisions of the day. So you don't get to like trade 3 times and then think you're going to have a great day or vice versa, have a busy day and then trade a bunch, and try to get good, reasonable outcomes. Like that's not possible. It's not feasible. You might get lucky here or there, but it's not going to continuously be helpful to you. But 2, options trading in general. Options trading in general is short-term stuff. Like everybody should be more focused on their investment accounts or buying shares of stuff over the long haul. And then like options should be like an appetizer. You have it here and there. You don't have it all the time, but you definitely have it here and there. But what I'm trying to get to though, sorry, I'm reading chat at the same time. What I'm trying to get at though is that I think when people overtrade, it's not just the overtrading that hurts them. What hurts them more is the other outcomes they missed, the other possibilities, the other opportunities they completely missed out on. I think that's what hurts the most. Not just because like, oh, it leads to like not making money. No, it literally leads to just frustration, because that you would have caught this or done this if you would have been there or done that. So I think also we need to step back sometimes and remind ourselves what the larger time frames are telling us. Because I think like I said yesterday was super easy to avoid. Today was a day where you actually didn't have to avoid. You could have definitely taken action on something, but it would have had to have been swift. You would have had to have been very decisive, as we always kind of need to be, really. And I think that's really the key to trading, is being decisive. It's not about do you have the best strategy? Do you have the right colored candlesticks? Do you have the perfect amount of money? Like, none of that stuff actually matters. What matters is your decision making. Can you be decisive when you need to be? And I think some of that can lag. Some of us will hold things longer than we need to. Some of us will jump into things earlier than we need to. And I think it all kind of ties into that not being decisive enough, right? We think we know what we want, but we don't fully act on it because we're too busy doing all these other different things. But Carter, please feel free to share whatever you want. You're always feel free to do whatever you want here. It's your home as much as it is ours. But that was something good I wanted to go over too, because that kind of ties into it. Not saying that was what his issue was. It kind of reminded me of another topic that we could go over. Target hit like 88%. Good shit, brother. I stopped doing that, zooming out. Wait. Zooming out what's I'm about. It's broker not happy. They called me to make sure I'm all right. That's a fake broker. They would never call you to check on your mental. Awesome trades on SPY, GG. Thank you for the live and answering questions. Thank you, man. Thank you for being here. Thank you for asking questions. Thank you for just chilling and vibing, dude. Appreciate you. I love when people come in here and vibe. Overtrading leads to frustration, less opportunities to get better entries, and possibly lower confidence in your own trading. No, I think that's true. It really is a lot. Like, it's not just like, oh, I'm overtrading, that's bad. Like, no, I think it leads to other of your biggest problems. Missing out on better things, or frustration, leading to emotional decisions, Or like you said, even just having lower confidence in yourself, and which takes time to kind of get back. You don't just get that back the next day. You know, even if you have a great day that next day after having a bad one, you're not going to sit there and be like, oh, I'm back to normal. You're still going to have that little bit of falter in you and be like, oh, why the fuck did I do that? Can't stick to the plan and cut when necessary. Continues to burn me bad. Which is day one shit. Been here too long to be spinning wheels. You know what, Carter? I will have to give you one thing out of all this, though. Regardless of what mistakes you're making, day one shit, like, at least you're here and you're, like, saying it, you know? You know how easy it is to just, like, log off and, like, go quiet from everybody and never reappear again? That's happened a lot. From different people, whether it's your friends or different trading communities, like, that happens to a lot of people. So, I got to give you at least a little props. I know you're like, this isn't the time to be doing that, but you could have easily just logged off, hid from everybody, never came back. Maybe we could do like a study group or something. There are some people in the chat who do not need it. So maybe I should make it like a limited kind of thing. Carter, you're like a lifetime member, right? You have VIP access, right? I think you do. We should just do one in VIP floor. Like a study group in the premium part of chat. Tobias. Why did I picture Peter Griffin slowly disappearing in the hedge when Bueller said people just disappear? Because it really is like that. That's why I only say that to Carter, because like he really could have done that. He could have just like had issues or frustrated and then been like, fuck this, and now he's just gone forever. But he actually said something, so now it's like, you know, there's something there. But it's Carter, man. I'd go to war for Carter. Plus, it takes a bigger man, in my opinion, to go over the things that frustrate you and possibly help you lose trades, versus literally just going and hiding. Like, I think it's so easy to do the second scenario. Stop scratching my chair. My dog is going to rip up my chair. Stop. Get down, get down, get down. Come here. Take this. But hopefully everybody got a good gist of a lot of the more major levels in the market right now. That's what we were covering, what we went over, what we remarked together. And we're kind of back to square two, I guess you could say. Square one was us falling. Square one is us square two is us getting back into the 50% of that pullback. So a lot of jump roping yesterday, inside bar. Broke the inside bar kind of towards the lower part of the bigger red candle. Good risk reward for buyers. But even there, stopping here at the 50%. And now it looks like we're finally getting the chance to potentially short this. Do I want to do this at 11 o'clock, though? It's on Carter. I have gone down to $0 in my personal trading account many times. It's not how much you make, which makes you a great trader. It's the tenacity to keep going and learning to be more. Yeah, but I understand his frustration, though. Because it's like, if you're able to sit there and you're like, I don't know what's wrong, like, that's one thing. But if you're sitting there and you're like, I know what's wrong, and you keep repeating it, like, it is one of those things where you just need to kind of sit back for a little bit and, like, kind of reset yourself entirely. Because if it's something you just keep doing, then it's something you just gotta stop even getting yourself involved with. So a little break would actually be recommended, but I never tell people that stuff though, because I'm not sitting here trying to tell you guys what to do with your time. I don't know what's going on in your lives or your days, and I only know part of what's going on in most of your trading. So I don't get to do that. I don't get to tell people what to do or what they should or shouldn't do. I personally though would probably take a break for like a week or so, probably 2, and then I'd return and not trade. I'd just get into the swing of things, marking things, understanding things, not really looking to like actively grab them, engage with them, touch them, trade them. Just trying to just think about things, how they work. What should happen after this happens? What should happen after that happens? You know, just thinking about that kind of stuff. So his frustration is definitely valid. Dude, speaking of someone who's on it, though, Letter Buck, dude. He is on it lately. He's already reposted the Spy 1 hour because it's got the Doji sandwich. Like, bro is on every time frame. And he still has a lot of running on Spy. Insane day by him, dude. Guys, is there anything else we need to go over before I end the stream? Because I would like to go over something else if someone really needs me to. But if not, I need to step out because my throat is killing me. And I am sorry about that. I wanted to stream a lot longer. But I just can't. Potential breakdown here on Spy. Not really breakdown, more of a rejection. Which could lead to a breakdown if we see this break afterwards. But should see a rejection here. Kind of freaks me out when I zoom in. I'm like, why can't I find a level above it? It's because it's way the F up there. Should probably try to find something else in between here. What? Note. Like that level. It's an emerging candle. Go play Battlefield. We know you want to. No, I do need to eat something, though, and then I'll probably try to play it after. If anybody in chat has it and wants to play, you can just DM me for the other server, and I'll invite you to it. I've been trying to play with people from chat. I had a bunch of people play with me a couple weeks ago on different games. Past, like, week or so, I've tried to get people to play games or whatever. It's really just up to people if they want to or not. Was hoping you could see my review, but it's not letting me post it. Oh, I mean, I can wait. It's not that pressing. I just won't talk as much, but I'll wait. I don't know why it's not letting you post it. Maybe Discord in your area is down or not doing great. I don't know. But I will gladly wait, Gary. If anybody has any they want me to look at as well, please feel free to share. I do my best to not go over them in a sense where I'm like, dude, you suck at this. You're great at this. Like, I try to go over things on both sides of things. Where it's like, oh, you did good identifying this. What is your entry? You know, I go based off of your trade. I'm not going to sit here and go, dude, this trade sucks. You fucking suck. Quit trading. Though I probably should. Oh, it's because you're at the doctor's office, I see. I would love to hear your thoughts on crypto. Will it be out new finance? Wait. Oh, will be our new financial system in the recent crash. If not, I totally understand. Okay, so there's one thing I want to make very clear, and I've said this 100 times on my stream probably. Crypto will not be replacing any financial systems. But that does not mean crypto cannot be included in the financial systems. And I don't know why people can't get that through their heads. Crypto can exist, and the monetary policies that exist in today's world can exist at the same time. Both things can be true. So, to be honest with you, I'm very bullish on crypto. I don't see it as something that's going to replace jack shit, but I see it as something that is an alternative. Will you see crypto purchases across the real estate markets? No, probably not in your lifetime. Will you witness huge crypto purchases though in your lifetime? Yes, hell yeah, you will. We already have. We've already seen stuff like that. We've already seen it get put to use. So yeah, I'm bullish on crypto. I think crypto is going to it already is a part of our society, and it's going to continue to grow and be in that part. But it's not going to replace anything. The dollar you have set in today's world is not going anywhere. It's the same thing with gold. People said that about gold. Oh, the dollar will fail without gold backing it anymore. The gold hasn't backed dollar in like almost 10 years now, or like 8 or something like that. And gold is thriving at all-time highs. The dollar's all right. The market all-time highs, you know? So every time someone asks me that, I'm like, man, I don't know why everybody has to just be one or the other. Why can't it be both? Like, both things can be right. Crypto can do great, and so can the normal financial, the monetaries that exist already. They can both do great. I don't know why people can't get that through their heads. You were in XRP. Are you talking to me on XRP? I'm not in anything. Though I do like Ripple. I think Ripple's a cool idea. But no, I'm not in anything. I don't own Bitcoin. I don't own Doge. I don't own fucking. I almost said Nvidia, but that's how cracked I am. I almost said Ethereum. I should have said Ethereum. No, I don't own anything though. I'm serious about that. But no, I'm not in anything like that. I'm just crypto is doing great, and it will probably continue to do great, just like gold did, just like silver's doing. It's gonna be used. It already is being used, just like the dollar, just like gold, just like silver. Oh yeah, my bad, Jennifer. I got you. Sorry, we've been on the daily a long time. But I don't think Bitcoin's going anywhere, and I don't think the dollar is going anywhere. And I think that's a good thing, too. I think it's nice that we're in a potential future where there might be different financial markets like that, where it's like, oh, well, there's real estate. Oh, well, there's energy. Oh, there's gold and silver and materials and stuff like that, commodities. Oh, there's crypto. Like, now there's another thing to throw in there. So I see it as another arm to the financial market of the world. Just another arm. And if it does happen to replace anything down the road, it won't be in your lifetime. It won't be in my lifetime. It would take a very long time. Damn, we should have entered after that inside bar breakdown. That would have been a nice, quick 5-minute scout. But let me know, Kyle, what your opinions are. If you have any differing opinion than that, or if you're in anything, let me know. And it's not like a hard stance or anything. I think what I just explained is nothing special. I think it's a hot take to have any other take than that. What I said isn't anything like it didn't. You didn't take a genius to come up with that. That's just my take, though. I could be wrong in 50 years. Let me know. Bitcoin takes over everything, and the dollar doesn't exist anymore. But I would also like to point out that I don't know why people also think that only crypto is the thing you should look at when the markets go down. Like, do people not realize staple stocks exist? Like, there's a reason we have staples, right? A staple is a company that's not going anywhere no matter what happens in the world, right? That's what that means. And there's plenty of them. So anytime the market takes dips, there are plenty of stocks that thrive in that market. There are plenty of stocks that aren't related to the market that thrive and continue to go up, not just because of being defensive. There's a lot of things that people can take away from when the market dips. You know, it's not like it's just let me jump to this one, you know. So and that is a thing though, don't get me wrong. Money rotation is a thing. Money rotating out of this market going into the other, that is a thing. But you're never going to see it where it's like 100% to 0%, like everybody's doing it or nobody's doing it. Like, it's just that's not feasible. I see. I'm not in crypto either. My neighbor at my shop is big into crypto. He showed me his bank statements, of course. Now I'm intrigued, but I have to stick to one thing for now. Well, he's able to show you his bank statements now because he's up, probably. If he was just now getting into it like you're trying to, I don't think he'd be doing that, you know? And I'm not trying to hate on your neighbor or anything. I'm happy for him. Great for him. Good for him that he can be happy about that and be up so much. But that's the main reason he's probably showing you that, is because he's probably been in for a long time and he's up a lot. You know? To someone new, I think it's hard to tell someone new to be like, yeah, you should start investing in crypto right now. You know, when is a good time? If not now, like when it's up at all time high. Like, I don't know if that's something you should be telling someone. It feels a little dirty when I'm like, yo, buy SPY, bro. Yo, let's buy SPY calls, guys. I think it's gonna go up, and we're like literally at all time highs. Like, I don't know if that's really feasible. I don't think the people that are going to be following me are going to be following me very long if that's the case. Staples help keep your papers together too. Yes, they are very good at that as well. For without staple, no paper would be together for an extended period of time. Take the staple out of your paperwork and everything falls apart. But yeah, so like that's another thing too, is I think too many people like, oh my god, SPY's red, let me go jump into crypto, or let me go jump into this or that, like gold. You know, like there's so many things that could be taken advantage of. It's not just one or two things. Like, it's so many different things you can jump into. So it really just depends on what you believe in, what you like to focus on. That's another big reason, too. I like to bring up the XLP chart, because that is the staples chart. And it doesn't always react how you think it will, right? So, like, when the other day, when SPY had the big red day, this is what staples did. They actually went up at first. And then they had a little bit of a red day. And if you think about it, this is still technically a higher candle. This candle opened and closed higher than this day opened and closed. So it's still green technically. Just not in the session, if you know what I mean. But from day to day, it did go higher. So sometimes it's just a short-term reaction. Sometimes, like during COVID, when we have all those big moves happen, these are the stocks that bounce first. You know, it just depends on what kind of market you're in. But there's always other stocks you can be looking at. Like energy during COVID. Energy during COVID was such an easy play. Energy before COVID, when it was all the rising tensions across the world, like that was just, oh man, how the time has gone by. And don't just look at the charts too. Go and look at the breakdowns. Like, this is SPY. This is what makes up SPY. 35% of SPY is tech. Less than 12% of it is banks. 10% is discretionary. 10% is XLC. You know, and then understand, what are the stocks in this? Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple. Oh, my banks. Oh, my discretionary. Amazon, Tesla. Where is Nike at? Oh, my Lord. You know, when I would say this, I'd say Amazon, Tesla, Nike, McDonald's, Home Depot. Nike's out of the top 10. I don't know if I should be saying Nike anymore. Amazon, Tesla, Home Depot, McDonald's. And understand, like, okay, this is that sector, this is this sector. Oh, so what are the staples then? Like, when the market's not looking too shabby, what is a staple company? Your Walmarts, your Costco's, your PG's, your Coca-Cola's, your Pepsi's. Like, if you truly think a long-term downturn market's going to happen, that's what you should be looking at. Not another financial market. If the true is the same across the board, then that market's also going to take a hit. And you're not really hedging shit. You're just losing on two different markets now. So, and that's a big difference between market understanding and just people going from one market to the other. All this talk about staples, where's the paperclip chart? Yo, now we're talking about some real things that need to be talked about. Stepping away, take care, bro. Feel better. Thank you, man. And I hope you do get whatever amount of time you take off, Carter. I hope you actually enjoy it or go through it a little bit. You know, go through your work days, hang out with your family, whatever you do on your off time. Go through it. And seriously, let that time off consume you. And if you come back, cool. If you don't, I would really appreciate it if you did. But but I do like to see you stepping back because you don't like the whole repetitive errors thing, you know. And I think it's more annoying for Carter's case because he's looking at this and it's not like he's running around with his head chopped off. You know, he knows what he's doing wrong and he's just doing it over and over again. And that's just something you have to kind of just get out of your system. And I think taking a step back is a good start to that process. It's not going to happen overnight. I wish there was a pill for it. I wish I could throw you a fucking ibuprofen and bam, you never do that again. That would be cool. And it feels weird for me to say stuff like that because it's Carter. Like, I should be sitting here going, no, keep trying. No, keep doing this. Keep trying that. But I think that would honestly be the worst advice to give someone. Keep digging that hole deeper. Keep pissing yourself off. Like, I think that's stupid. I don't mean to laugh, but that's what it felt like. Just that feels like the worst advice to give somebody. I got you. Yeah, I agree. That's like me telling someone who's an absolute beginner at poker, go play 5 point. It's the easiest face-up game in LA that prints money. Trying my best to type fast and check. No, you're good. You're good. I appreciate you, man. I actually really appreciate the conversation back and forth. I love the questions. I love the random thinking because it's not like I'm holding you to anything you're saying, and hopefully you're not doing the same to me. Bueller, you said that one time in that live stream that it wouldn't. You said it wouldn't overtake everything. Like, I just said it most likely wouldn't. If it happens, cool. But there's a lot of ways to take care of this stuff. And again, guys, just to kind of throw this back out there again, one last time at the end of the stream here, make sure you guys go to the YouTube channel and you go to the playlist and you go to Welcome to BB and you watch this playlist. If you've already done that and you're somebody who's just looking for more, either ask me for how you get access to this or just become a member on either here or Discord. But either way, doesn't matter how you get it, BB Theory is a very, very good playlist to get onto next. Once you have all the understanding of the basics of how everything works here, that is a next advanced level of stuff to look at or listen to or pay attention to. Please check it out if you haven't already. And you do have access. And yeah. I mean, honestly, you should check out all the playlists, but these two specifically I've really been hammering lately just because they're very crucial. There's a lot of stuff to go on in there, and it kind of covers the templates of everything. Also, and just to kind of round it up again, like, we don't need to be trading every day. We don't need to be trading 3 times a day, every single day. We don't need to be trading every day, everybody. Jerome's talking. Let him talk. No, I respect you for what you have to say. Plus, I do trust you. Thank you for that. The last thing I want to do is ask you some off-topic questions that could distract somebody else that's trying to. Oh no, I appreciate that. No, you're good. Towards the end of the stream, this is the perfect time to ask that kind of stuff. Ask me whatever the hell you want. But I do appreciate that. You're actually kind of being socially aware. That was cool. I'm sorry you've had to hear me clear my throat 62,000 times on stream today. God. I bet that sounds horrible on y'all's end. I keep trying to like look away when I do it too, but it's just like, ugh. It's like every time I breathe. I knew I wasn't going to stream yesterday though. Even before the week started, I knew I wasn't going to. There were too many stars that aligned for me not to stream yesterday. Battlefield 6 being out was one of them. But also the fact that Friday session was historical. It was inevitable that that yesterday would be an inside bar. Yesterday would have had to be even more historical to get movement outside of the range. That would have blown my mind. And now, just to point it out again, everybody, we are still kind of in the bottom half of this red day, just to remind everybody. We are still in the bottom half of that. We're at the half mark, actually. But a lot of price action underneath, no new low. So, right now, we're kind of looking for more rejections around that thick level going into tomorrow, or retakes of it, right? If we see any kind of rejection of it and then a retake of it afterwards, you know, maybe today doesn't go over it, but maybe we settle a little bit more. Who knows? Then we'll be looking for more upside short term. But any rejection or failure of this area or continued weakness, and we have to assume more rejections going back down will be popping up. So big emphasis on that thick level there, 663.40. And thank you guys again. 35 likes. I think that's the most likes we've had on the streams in the past, like, 2 months. So, 35 likes. Seriously, you guys are fucking nuts. Thank you guys again. That's actually very awesome on a day like today. But yeah, I think I'm going to end the stream there. If you guys have any quick questions here at the very end, let me know. But if not, I think I will end it there. I need to stop talking. God, I love water. Thank you, Jennifer. It's always a pleasure having you here. If you guys have any ideas for things we can do in the stream or on the stream or anything like that, please feel free to share too. This isn't communist China. You guys can share whatever ideas you have or whatever you want, and I'll shoot them down or pick them up as we see them. But you let me know. And guys, in the Discord, please, if you're here in my YouTube streams, I want to see you in my Discord as well. I want to see you guys in here engaging. I don't care if you're some lifetime member. I don't give a fuck if you even have a membership. I honestly don't care. Please, just come in here, engage, talk to each other. It is insane to me how many free plays and stuff like that gets posted in here. And I don't mean in the sense of, like, you should come in here and piggyback stuff. I don't mean it like that. But I think you should come in here and get extra guidance, right? It's not just Bueller and Bueller's levels. It's Bueller and his community and their levels, right? It's their levels too. And there's so many... Don't come in here and expect, yo, Kevo, post this for me. Yo, Letterbuck, post this for me. Let me piggyback you. But you could definitely be using some of this stuff as guidance. You know, there are so many updates and just stuff like that I can't get over. What the hell is this? Is that Jerome Powell? You're looking kind of tough in that picture. This motherfucker. To be fair though, before you guys see this and you're like, oh my god, everybody's doing this in this chat. It's these two guys have been working their legit asses off to get to that point. That's not overnight success. That took years. Thanks for your time, my man, and help. No problem. Thank you for being here. T Streets. God, I'm losing my voice. All right, well, I'm going to end the stream there, guys. Thank you guys again. Like I said, I want to see more of you in the Discord. I don't give a fuck what membership you have or if you have one at all. Just join. Get in here. Talk out your stuff. There's even categorized channels on different things. It's pretty cool. But yeah, see you guys in here. And if not, also cool. See you in the future streams. Check out some of the playlist, all that good stuff. Yeah, I think that's all I had. That's enough of selling my soul for the day. Thank you guys again for the most likes in the last few months. Seriously, guys, appreciate you head to toe. Seriously, one of the best communities out there. It doesn't have to have 1,000 people in it to be the best. I love the fact that we have this small knit group mixed with people from 4 to 5, 6, even 6 years ago to people that have been in here for just over the past month. So I think it's a fucking wonderful community. The people within it are pretty freaking awesome. We do have our ups and downs. I like to also point that out. We are not a community in which everybody is fucking killing it. We're all rich. Everybody's fucking on fire. Some of us struggle. Some of us aren't. It's just how it is. But I'll see you guys later on. Have a great rest of your day. And, yeah. See you on the flip side. And good shit, Letter Buck. I see you in the chat. Good shit, Letter Buck. Round of applause, Letter Buck and Kevo. Round of applause, Letter Buck and Kevo. Good shit, boys. Leaders only. BB out.